Stars came out for one of Hollywood's biggest nights, the Golden Globes. But amid all the cheers and the champagne, a serious note. When three-time Oscar-winning actress Meryl Streep received a Lifetime Achievement Award, the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and paused to speak about a controversial campaign moment. Streep was referring to Donald Trump appearing to mock a disabled New York Times reporter in South Carolina in November of 2015. This morning, Trump fired back, tweeting, quote, "Meryl Streep, one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood, doesn't know me, but attacked last night at the Golden Globes. She is a Hillary flunky who lost big. For the 100th time, I never mocked a disabled reporter, would never do that, but simply showed him groveling when he totally changed a 16-year-old story that he had written in order to make me look bad. Just more very dishonest media."
Hold it now.
With us now on the phone is a very special guest, someone who's been very active in politics, of course, and very concerned about the direction politics are heading in this country right now, Barbra Streisand. Barbara, thank you for joining us. What did you think and feel when you watched Meryl Streep last night talk about a man who's going to be our president mocking someone's disability?
I thought that she said what she said beautifully. And it's easy enough to see the video online of Trump mocking. You just showed it, actually. And I completely agree with Meryl. It was a heartbreaking moment and so beneath the dignity of the presidency, let alone any respectful person. I mean, what we need more in this world, I think, is kindness. What
do you make of the critique that Meryl Streep made last night, that you can push this thing and it becomes the norm? That it's like Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the senator, once said, you define deviancy downward, this kind of behavior becomes the normal political conversation.
Well, that's what it does. I mean, what's the signal to little children, you know, who watch television and see this is the behavior of the soon-to-be president of the United States, you know? Little girls were heartbroken when Hillary didn't get to be president.
I do not believe this is happening. I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now.
I don't know how we're going to take, 4 years of this.
Well, we're going to have to. Barbra Streisand, thank you so much for your
Thank you so much. I can go back to having my teeth cleaned.
Yes, go back to your work. In fact, I can't help you with that. Thank you.
Let it go, dogs. Let's go.
She was not so much giving a political speech, but a sermon. The undertone of it, the subtext was, I'm a good person, and you have fallen short, Mr. and Mrs. Trump voter in America. Where did that come from, the moralizing?
Well, I think it's the deep loathing and the deep, it's a guilt. I've done so well that now I have to be part of this club where we talk to middle America in this very mocking tone. I mean, it's ironic that she talked about Trump and the disabled reporter, as if no one in Hollywood in positions of power mock, ridicule, or take advantage of people in lower economic standing than they do. I mean, anyone who knows anyone has been in a casting call, especially with some of the, the top directors in Hollywood. There can be humiliation. There can be sexual harassment. All sorts of things happen in the higher echelons of power in the entertainment industry, which I'm sure top actresses like Meryl Streep know a lot about. It's not like Hollywood has a standing to look down on the rest of America for, okay, if you supported Trump, you're implicitly biased racially against anyone who's a, quote, immigrant. You're against anyone who is of a different sexual persuasion. It is so insulting. And the most monolithic, intolerant group in America, among them, is Hollywood. Because so many of people I know, know, and I know, are literally afraid to speak out because they won't get work. They will not be hired. They won't be hired as a grip, let alone as an actor in a major motion picture.
Well, it's out, and let's read the title of the report. Background to assessing Russian activities and intentions in recent U.S. elections, the analytical process and cyber incident attribution. A pretty fancy title here. I'm sure you've read it. I didn't learn anything new except for some gossip. Did you learn anything?
I learned absolutely nothing new. Everything in it has already been discussed at extraordinary length, except that there is a most remarkable attack on RT, on this channel, which of course came as something of a surprise because it was supposed to be, or at least we were all led to believe it would be, about Russian hacking. And of course, there doesn't really say very much about that at all. So I would say really a non-report. I mean, you said it was underwhelming. I would actually go beyond that. I would say completely unconvincing.
First, we cannot say they did not change any vote tallies or anything of that sort.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
We have no way of gauging the impact that certainly the intelligence community can't gauge the impact it had on choices the electorate made.
What is with this guy over here? It's like he just saw one of my nudes on Snapchat. This is serious crap. He's on TV, too, at the time. Anyway, Friday, President-elect Trump met with the experts to discuss the findings. So what did Russia really do? Well, for one, they hacked John Podesta's email. How did they do it? First, they found one of his passwords. What was one of his passwords? Password. This may be the greatest achievement in espionage history. Right behind the time I pilfered Lou Dobbs's locker combination. I stole his gym shorts. I'm wearing them now. But it makes you wonder how secure Podesta's other sensitive material is. Where does he keep the PIN number of his debit card? Is it written on the back of the card with the words, PIN number for my debit card?
But you can't, and you don't stop!
So shortly after he was briefed by intelligence officials on Friday, President-elect Donald Trump released a statement on the Russian hacking report, saying he had a constructive meeting and conversation and that he has tremendous respect for the work and service done by the men and women of this community to our great nation.
Okay, that's great. Stop right there. Hold on. Stop right there. That's a good tweet. Go golfing. That's a good tweet. Just stop. Right there. Great job. Stop. There's no more, right?
On the report.
There's no more, right, John?
There's always another.
All right, but I'm going to argue. I'm going to, oh my God,
golf.
take the other side of this. On the report's findings, he said, while Russia, China, and other countries, outside groups, and people are consistently trying to break through the cyber infrastructure of our governmental institutions, businesses, and organizations, including the Democratic National Committee, there was absolutely no effect on the outcome of the election, including the fact that there was no tampering whatsoever with voting machines. There were attempts to hack the Republican National Committee, but the RNC had strong hacking defenses and the hackers were unsuccessful. Trump said he would appoint a team to give him a plan on how to counter hacking within his first 90 days. What's wrong with that?
No, I mean, not a whole lot. Yeah, just keep going.
And later on Friday night, he tweeted, gross negligence by the Democratic National Committee allowed hacking to take place. The Republican National Committee had strong defense. On Saturday morning, he wrote, intelligence started very strongly.
Okay, there's the one. You know, even what he said the night before, the DNC, it was true. They left the barn door open.
But there was no reason to say it.
Even but at the same time, you should have just been quiet.
The report which was released is not an intelligence report. Quite embarrassing to the reputation of the U.S. intelligence services. It does not have the structure of intelligence report. There's only about 5 pages of analysis out of the some over 20 pages. It doesn't even make assertions, its own speculation.